I think we are live. Let me check. Let me see. Yeah, we are. I can see myself. Yes, people. Obviously, I'm not in the best of moods. You get me? And for this one, again, I'm on my ones. As you can see, I've got the artwork up. I've got the lineups and that. So I can't actually put up the comments on the screen, but I can see them in the chat. But make sure you do smash the like button on your way in. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Road to 10k, you get me? I forgot to put my little animation of the road to 10k thing on, but it's calm. We move. It is what it is. I might actually just post it in the chat. You get me? You got to remind everybody what we're trying to do here. Yeah, so that is going to be pinned in the chat. Yeah, man, so obviously we're here for the Carabao Cup. The result, tough pill to swallow. Liverpool lost, well, Liverpool beat us 11-10 on penalties. I'm still gutted. Big up everybody that was there for the live chat. It was, sorry, not for the live chat, for the live stream. Streamed it live, the whole watch along all the way through the penalties. Yeah, it was heartbreaking, man. The stream was fun, but obviously I didn't want to just start switching and acting the prick on camera. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I had to put the stream to a stop. But yeah, man, big up everybody that's here. Yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, we'll start with the lineups here. Chelsea, they went with the back three. I was actually happy with the personnel that we saw on the team. Mendy in goal, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger as the centre-back trio, Aspi and Alonso as the wing-backs, Kante, Kovacic as the midfield pivot, Mount, Havertz and Pulisic as the attackers. Liverpool, I ain't going to read their lineup. I'm sure all of you can read pretty well. Right here, boom. But yeah, do you know what? You see, in terms of our performance, this is the first thing I'm going to say. Everything outside of finishing, I thought we done very, very well. Absolutely. I thought we started the first half pretty well. We showed that we were there to, not just sit back and just absorb pressure and try and hit them on the sporadic counter-attack here and there. No, we actually showed signs that we're not afraid of Liverpool, that it is a cup final and we're there to absolutely take it to them. And, Liverpool found it difficult to contain us, but I will say that eventually in the first half they did grow into the game. They were getting spells of possession where they were knocking the ball around pretty well. That left side of theirs with Robertson and Luis Diaz was where most of the problems were coming. Luis Diaz, obviously the new signing for Liverpool, caused a lot of headache for Trevor Chalobah on that right side. And I don't think, listen, a lot of people are saying that Trevor was torn to shreds. I wouldn't say that. I think he had a difficult time. But in terms of torn to shreds, I've seen torn to shreds performances, and I don't think Chalobah was torn up like that. He definitely had a difficult time, though, 100%. But Luis Diaz, clearly for me, was the man of the match for Liverpool, just causing problems down that side, getting in behind. They were winning a lot of set pieces, a lot of corners in the first half, which we dealt with well. You get me? We dealt with it pretty well. I'm not going to lie to you. So in terms of that, I can't complain too much. But we did allow Liverpool to kind of overplay us a little bit in the first half. But when we kind of, when we pushed our line up a bit forward, started stepping towards the halfway line with our defence and really putting our pressure on them, we did get in behind. First opportunity that we did have, lovely ball played in behind for Christian Pulisic, who hit it straight at Kelleher. Had he had opened his foot up a little bit more and his body up a bit more, he would have found that far corner. It would have been 1-0. Pulisic definitely should have scored that one. It's still early, still very early in the game. I believe it was 8 minutes or so when we had the opportunity. Still very early in the game. A lot of football to be played, so you can forgive that one. I was just hoping the next chance he got, he wouldn't miss. But from then on, it was encouraging. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of us that were watching, we were very encouraged by the Chelsea signs. And get me, we looked like, I actually felt that it wasn't going to go to extra time. And then another opportunity comes, Mason Mount. Mace he really should have put that one away. Although it was a difficult chance ish because the ball was behind him and he had to readjust and put it away, but still he should be doing better there, Mace. But aside from that, the first half, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was pretty even. I'd say Liverpool had a bit more dominance in that half, but not by much. We went into the second half pretty unscathed. I thought we'd done well. Yeah, Azpilicueta had to come off pretty early on. I think it was an injury that forced him off, unfortunately. But second half, not gonna lie to you, much better showing in the second half. A lot more opportunities. Again, it was just about the opportunities that we missed. We was carving Liverpool in some parts of the game. We was getting in behind their defence. Again, another good opportunity going begging. Not Christian Pulisic. Mason Mount again should have really made it 1-0. The amount of offside goals, we just like our attack is becoming an issue. It's now cost us a trophy today. It's cost us a trophy today. And at any moment in that game, Liverpool could have come back. They could have scored, and you get me, and it would have been over any moment. But lucky enough, we were solid defensively, like I said before the game. I was saying in the preview, like I think defensively we're going to be able to maintain them. It's my concern is what we're going to do going forward. And I was right to be, concerned. Listen, it's the EFL Cup. Am I super gutted? No, but it's always nice to win a trophy, innit? Especially when the Premier League seems to be out of sight. You want to take up all the rest of them. It's what it is. I can see people in the comments, they're saying, onto the FA Cup and the Champions League, which is a massive, massive fact. You get me? We've still got competitions that we can play in. But yeah, look, I'm seeing a lot of, was Lukaku offside? I don't think he was. Let's talk about the Lukaku. How was Lukaku offside? Someone tell. This is what I was saying in the stream. I don't really want to hear about the referee. Yes, listen, hear what I'm saying. Yes, those were some blatant, crazy decisions. The offside with Lukaku, I get that. But then you've got to look at it from a footballing perspective. If we want to call ourselves a team of that level of quality, we're trying to win serious silverware. We shouldn't be looking at the ref at that point, because by then it already should have been 2 or 3-0 Lukaku by Lukaku's offside. Referees are going to make mistakes. Linesmen are going to make mistakes. But it's up to us to ensure that those mistakes don't impact us. Because had we had scored, nobody would be talking about this. And this is what I want to come back to be focusing on, instead of just telling the referee off all the time. We've got to do our job. We've got to stop looking at the ref for decisions. The best teams in the world don't behave like that. Now, I'm not saying that that's what we are currently right now. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if that's what we're aspiring to do, that behaviour needs to stop. Yeah? Officiating was poor. Obviously, there was the Kepa situation with Chalobah. That was blatantly a red card. How that wasn't even looked at VAR, he didn't even get booked. Absolute craziness to me. But again, we need to stop looking at refereeing decisions, because we had 3 clear-cut opportunities to put it away. In fact, if you count in the offside goals, you're talking several. Probably like 5-6 opportunities. If we're just staying switched on, staying aware of the offside line. Yes, the Lukaku one don't count because everyone's telling me it's onside. I thought it was onside, but very marginal. But I thought, like, if it's going to be offside, it has to be marginal. But everybody's saying, obviously, it was offside. But in terms of today, man, look, the positives that I'm going to take from it, we're going to have to start with the best goalkeeper in the world, Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy today showed why this man is undoubtedly the best goalkeeper in the world. He made several world-class saves. The one that sticks out at the top of my mind is that double save that he made. Naby Keita takes a lovely low-driven shot outside the box. Mendy does well to get down pretty quickly, and then Salah's there for the rebound, and Mendy gets up quickly and somehow tips it over the bar. He had absolutely no right from stopping that ball going into the net. None whatsoever. It's not the only chance. One-on-one opportunity with Diaz. He saves that. Then there's the corner opportunity. Sees the ball late. Still manages to get down and save it. Honestly, Kepa for me. Mendy for me is the best goalie in the world. Now listen, people are going to sit here and pretend like the best goalkeepers in the world sometimes are not good at penalties. When it happens, Peter Cech, I dare somebody in here to tell me that Peter Cech wasn't a world-class keeper or the best goalkeeper in the world at his time because he couldn't save penalties. Go on, tell me that. Exactly. It's gone quiet. Nobody can say nothing. Mendy's in the same boat. The man just can't save penalties. It is what it is, but we've got a keeper that can. You get me? It is what it is. I'm not trying to hear that nonsense about, oh, how is Kepa world class if he can't save penalties? Get the fuck out of here, bruv. What's his name? Mendy. Get the fuck out of here, bruv. He's that guy. He's that guy. Turn around and tell me Peter Cech weren't world class. And weren't the best around at his time. Exactly. You can't. You can't. So this talk about, oh, Mendy should have stayed on, when has Mendy really saved penalties? You see what I mean? Was it really the wrong decision made by the manager? Because everybody was screaming for Kepa to come on. You get me? Everybody screaming for Kepa. The fifth sub. We've got to keep it for Kepa. That's what I'm hearing before the game. We've got to keep the energy the same. Just because it went wrong, we can't be backtracking. You see what I mean? Like, you got to defend the manager on that one. He didn't make a mistake. That's usual protocol. You get me? When it comes down to penalties, Kepa's the man. And it's been proven before. He saved 4 penalties before this in shootouts. Come on, you can't argue with the brother's record. It don't make no sense. But anyway, we move. But Kepa, that penalty, listen. Again, even down to the penalty, because I see people pissed off. Yes, Kelleher put his one away. Kepa, terrible penalty. But let's have it right. Kepa is a goalkeeper. You get me? His job ain't really to be taking penalties. Yes, there's the just in case, the small chance that he has to take one. But penalties are pot luck. It can happen. Look, John Terry missed a penalty. You know, wait, is what it is. These things happen. Players miss penalties. That's why they say penalties are the luck of the draw. We put away 10 of our penalties, for goodness sake. The one player that missed was our goalkeeper. Surely on the odds of how things are going, that should be a good, you get me? I don't really see it. I don't really see the mistake that Tuchel made by bringing on Kepa. I just think it's a bit reactionary for some of us. This is what I'm saying. Look, Exeter 1985 is saying if Mendy stayed on, that doesn't get to 11-10. Mendy, Exeter 1985, I don't agree. Mendy's penalty record is awful, bro. Like, from the Shed End podcast is saying, it's not. He hasn't got a good record. But here's the thing. And Shane, big up Shane, the investor, because he said it right. You can't blame anybody but the missed chances that we had. Facts. Because when we look at the 90 minutes where we were supposed to have the game sorted out, we had 3 clear-cut opportunities that we really should have scored. We should have. And Liverpool had the one. They had the offside goal disallowed, but listen, at the end of the day, it should have been 3-1. That's what it should have been. 90 minutes. Should have never even got to penalty. We shouldn't have even been looking at our bench for Kepa to get off anyway. We should be starting there as well. This is the thing. Like, we've got to look at ourselves. But outside of that, look, it's not all doom and gloom. Outside of that, I thought Tuchel got it spot on today. Bar periods where I felt we sat down and invited a bit of pressure, a little bit too much, and we got the warning signs. Outside of that, I thought we done well. For me, outside of Mendy, I thought the defence were pretty solid today. Thiago Silva, world-class performance. That clearance that he made as well, time and time again. The 37-year-old just keeps bringing up the goods. His experience is just like, there's no money that you can put on this guy's quality and experience. For me, the best centre-back in the world. I have said it on the football terrace. I've said it here. I've said it on several platforms. For me, Thiago Silva is the best centre-back in the world. Absolutely. And he showed it again today. The wing backs, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought Marcos Alonso did well today. He didn't really get fried that much today. But then when we really look at Liverpool's tactics, you could see that they was really focusing on that left side and trying to isolate Chalobah with Luis Diaz, which was very successful for them. But on that left side, I thought Marcos Alonso got up and down well, didn't really make no mistakes. But yeah, obviously I've just given you the reason. The midfield pivot, Kante, as usual, thriving in that sort of chaotic midfield battle between Liverpool and Chelsea. Really stifled quite a few counter-attacks, actually, being in the right position at the right time. I thought today was a better game from Kante. Kovacic as well. I thought some of his passes going forward today was sublime. I thought, again, like, there were several players today that I thought could have had, outside of Mendy, could have each had a case for a man of the match performance. Thiago Silva being one of them. N'Golo Kante, in my opinion, being one of them. Kovacic definitely being one of them as well. Then we move on to the front three. This is where it gets critical. Now, I'm going to start off with Kai Havertz. Kai, I thought he did very well. I thought Kai Havertz did well. I thought, again, operated the channels the way he was supposed to, timed his runs to a T. Liverpool couldn't really pick him up, got in behind a few times as well, and as a result, there was opportunities that were created. Flashed a lovely, lovely ball in. I don't know if it was the first or second half, flashed a lovely ball in from that left side. Pulisic couldn't get at the end of it. I was saying during the game that Aspi could have pushed up a little bit to get on that back post to perhaps just put the tap in, but obviously defensive instincts will not always make you the fastest and aware of where the danger is and perhaps getting there on time. So I'm not going to be too critical on Azpilicueta, you get me, but I thought Kai Havertz done all right today. Mason Mount, I love Mace. Mace is still a star boy to me, still a young player, and that's key. Mace is still a young player. Form is up and down at this age, but today those two opportunities that he's missed have cost us silverware. If we're being honest about this all, but I'm gonna be careful to not over criticize him for that reason, because listen, you see why I'm going quiet, because I'm just thinking about it. I'm sorry people. It's poor. It's poor. One of the opportunities I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, because like I said, I think Kai played the pass a little bit behind him, so he had to readjust himself. But that second opportunity, my goodness me, he really should have made it 1-0 there and then. And Mace, he needs to work on the finishing. That's the several of our attackers. I thought in terms of his usual self, yes, he was busy in terms of contributing to the press, but anything outside of that, I can't really say he produced too much of a threat in his usual as his usual self. So I think Mount let himself down a bit today, but you get me, it's one of those ones where I'm not going to go overboard and cuss Mason Mount. Of course, he's still a quality player. Again, when you're young, form, it fluctuates up and down. Pulisic, I don't think he was as... I thought, do you know what? Nah, to be fair on Pulisic, I thought he was all right. Nothing special. He was all right. Faded out of the game a little bit, to be honest with you, but I can't say Pulisic was too bad, except that opportunity that he missed as well. Really should have scored that, but that was very early in the game. But it was encouraging sign, honestly. But outside of that, it was encouraging signs. I thought we dealt with Liverpool's pressure pretty well. We were very compact in the middle. Although we did concede a lot of corners, we dealt with the set pieces very well. Very often thirsty headers. Our offside trap worked for us for their disallowed goal. Van Dijk, obviously, with that header to Matip, who finished it at the back post, but it was ruled disallowed from the offside. And speaking of offsides, my goodness me, we've had several goals that were disallowed. Kai Havertz obviously had his goal chalked off. Lukaku had a goal chalked off, which has been controversial, you get me. But listen, the opportunity to win the game was there, we just didn't take it, which is why I can't be too salty about it, because it's another trophy that we've thrown away. That's the frustration. But in terms of, were we outplayed, outclassed by Liverpool? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We weren't. Let me see what some of you man in the comments are saying. Kepa knew what he was doing. I doubt it. If Mendy stayed on, that match doesn't get to 11. Oh yeah, I read that already. Liverpool are not better than us. Hope people realise that. They weren't today. I'll say that. Today they weren't. Shane, TT made the right call. I don't think Mendy would have saved 10 penalties. Personally, I believe no one is to blame, but if you have to pin it on someone, it has to be Mason Mount. Kepa's just being used as a scapegoat because it's the easy option. That's just not fair. Absolutely. It's like we said, should have never got to penalties in the first place. So if we're blaming Kepa, you really got to look at all of those opportunities that we had to put the game to bed before penalties. It's a fact. Kai did good today, facts. And Mason Mount was off. Yeah, Mount was poor, 100%. Worked well defensively. 100%. This is something Mason can learn off and improve. Absolutely. Again, there's space for growth for these youth. This is just XP points for him in the tank. Hopefully, it depends on how he goes forward. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man, if you're just jumping in on the live, make sure you do smash that like button as well. If you are new, hit the subscribe. We are on the road to 10k, as the pin message does say. Away says, I wanted you lot to beat them Scouse wankers. For fuck's sake, man. Bruv. It is what it is. We've done it to ourselves. Boogs, big up yourself. Tuchel needs to work with all of our attackers. Our midfield and defense is amazing. It's our attack that lets us down most of the time. It is what it is. We have FA Cup and Champions League. Yeah, it's a fact. It's an absolute fact. Look, we still have something to play for. Because at the end of the day, look, if we lose this and we win the FA Cup, all is forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Or if we lose this and we win the FA Cup and the Champions League, nobody's going to be talking about this. Now, listen, I ain't saying we're going to win the Champions League, but while we're competing, why the F not? Why not? Why not? We might, who knows? Who knows? You get me? Is what it is. Best thing was seeing Reece James back on the pitch, 100%. That was, it was nice to see him come back on the pitch. I think Reece James, to be fair on him, I thought he started the game a bit off. He looked very unfit. Lack of match practice, more so. But then as the game went on, I felt that he grew into the game, honestly. So it's good to see Reece James back. No, man, we got plenty to play for. Oasis, a Manchester City fan. Big up yourself, Guni. No, big up yourselves, everybody that has joined us in the chat. You get me? Big up yourselves for tuning in. There was a good final. Yeah, for the neutral, 100% it was a good final. It was enjoyable. It was end-to-end stuff. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of controversies in that game. That game literally had everything. I am not going to lie to you. It literally had everything, man. Liverpool, obviously, they won 10-11 on penalties. But as soon as Luis Diaz came off, the threat was nullified, and I thought at this point, now that he's off, we just need to put more pressure on Liverpool. Now, granted, you've still got your Salas, your Jotas on the field at that point, but really and truly, you can see that Klopp's focus was down our was down our right side, and when he came off, I was like, okay, this is the opportunity to go for the juggler. Unfortunately, we didn't take the opportunities. You could see through both halves of extra time, I thought we completely dominated Liverpool. And you could see at periods of the second half that they was just playing for penalties. Absolutely. We dominated them, in my opinion. I was proud of the performance. However, in terms of the finishing, again, it's the same old story. Let me read some of the comments. We always perform versus Liverpool and lose. Remember the Super Cup final in 2019? Yeah, penalties. This game should have ended in 90 minutes. Mount's a criminal. Let's not do that to Mace. It should have ended in 90 minutes, but let's not do that to Mace. We're not going to do that to him. I feel bad for Kepa. He doesn't deserve the hate from the fans. Absolutely not, Abdul. We was just saying he should have never been called upon in the first place. We need the Diaz type. This is what I'm saying. Diaz is direct. He wants to beat his man, and he's not afraid to have a go at goal either. This is what I mean. You know that, you see Diaz, yeah? Once he settles into that team, you're going to be talking about a winger that's going to get, I reckon he's going to get 15, 20 goals a season. Easy. You can see the quality is just oozing off him. But once he just gets that consistent football, because he's going to display somebody. On that left side, definitely, Mane, I think, is going to become second choice. In my opinion, Luis Diaz has shown enough to be pinning down that position. So I could see him becoming one of the top wingers in the Prem. So definitely, for the price that they got him for, is what it is. But Chelsea, listen, if we behave and we act properly in the market in the summer, we could have one of our own. There are options out there. We just have to trust our coaching, our scouting staff do the right job. They scout the right players and not just buy players by their name. Just make sure that they fit. Proper scouting has to be done. Honestly, it's Mace. Okay, yeah, I can see a lot of people upset about Mace. Should have never gone to put. Yeah, facts. The front three missed criminal chances. Yeah, they all did. They did. Although I will say, listen, you see Lukaku. I've seen people like, yo, when he came on, you can see, he's not making the effort again, and this and that and the other. Look. I don't think he was terrible today. I don't think Lukaku was terrible today. I think his chances came few and far between. The offside, the quote unquote offside, it was a good finish, but again, that could have counted. It wasn't Lukaku's worst game today. I'm gonna say that it wasn't Lukaku's worst game today. Um, but no, I'm absolutely gutted, to be honest with you. I am gutted that we lost today because of the nature of which we lost. Because it was on penalties. Do you know what I mean? And penalties a lot of the time is a roll of the dice. You get me? But the game had to be settled one way or another. I wouldn't be sitting. I mean, look how many trophies we've won through penalties. You get me? So comes in swings and roundabouts. You get me? People blame Marina for transfers, but it's scouting that's the issue. Our scouting is rubbish, absolutely. And our head scout at Chelsea, chief scout, his name is Scott McLachlan. That's the guy we should be holding accountable for presenting these names to Marina Granovskaya. Yeah, it's this man here. Trust me. Is this one a call-in? No, the call-in is going to be coming on, is it Wednesday? I think Wednesday or Thursday. One of the 2 days we're going to do the call-in again. I'm trying to do that once a week. Penalties are always a gamble. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shocking penalty from Kepa, though, it must be said. What the hell was he doing? He just spanked it outside the stadium. But look, how many times has Kepa been a penalty hero? It was bound to happen at least once. He's going to be the villain. To me, he's not the villain anyway. It is what it is. But yeah, I guess, listen, most of you know what the deal is anyway. But my thing is that I'm tired of sitting back after games like this, yeah, and saying, we should have beat them. I'm tired of saying to my Liverpool brethren, you got lucky, because we didn't take our opportunities. I'm tired of that. And that needs to be addressed next season, 100%. And Tuchel, Shane rightly said, does need to be backed at all costs. 100%. He's proved himself. Got us to another final today. Unfortunately, we lost due to our attackers today. Hopefully, this doesn't cost us an FA Cup. It doesn't cost us a Champions League in this manner. You get me? Because if we're going to outplay teams and then just lose on a sucker punch, come on, man. We've got to do better. I'm sorry if anybody's at fault today. It's our attack. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with you. Listen, I'm not denying it. I'm not. Our attack cost us today, 1,000%. Everybody else done their jobs properly and to a high standard, in my opinion. But the attackers, but it's the story. It's the story of Chelsea Football Club and has been for the past 2 seasons. I will say this though. Now's not really the time to be, trolling our young players and this and that. These things happen. It happens, but it's happening too frequently. I get it. I get the frustration in here. But let me know in the chat. Do you lot think that we've still got another trophy to win this year? Do you think we can win the FA Cup or the Champions League? I want to know how everybody's feeling about this season. Facts, Noah. Facts. Nah, no one's denying it. No one's denying none of that. 100%. We've got 93 viewers in the place. Big up everybody that's just jumped in. Please make sure you do smash the like button as you come in. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe. Help us on our road to 10K. You get me? So, yeah, listen, quite a few optimistic. A-Books is optimistic, saying, hell yeah, we can be winning another trophy. Another one saying, of course, I'm never going to try and pronounce that. I ain't got my contacts in. Arsenal fan, but Lukaku was onside. Do you know what? I need to look at that again because I haven't really sat down and taken a proper look at it. The one time I did see it was when, obviously, I was doing the live with you lot. So when I see that, I might have to bring that up tomorrow. I've got Lee Gunner on tomorrow, so me and him will discuss the final. Hopefully he did watch it, but definitely me and Lee Gunner will be streaming tomorrow. We will be discussing this final. So yeah, so look, quite a few people are saying it was definitely onside. Well, if it was, it's why it's Martin Stevens. You don't need to look at it. Well, listen, I just want to speak on informed information. You get me? But look, optimistic going forward. Reece James is back. We dominated Liverpool. Exeter 1985 again. Thank you very much for the super chat. Mr. President Guni, Board Lives, BLM, the Board Lives Matter. Yes, that's me, blood. Board Lives Matter President. Big up yourself, Exeter 1985. FA Cup, UCL, we are Chelsea. Yeah, man. Champions League wasn't expected last season. Absolutely. Listen, there's still something to play for, honestly. And really and truly, when we go back, when we look on hindsight at the beginning of the season, how high of a priority was the Carabao Cup to any of us? It wasn't. Listen, it's never nice to lose a cup final, and cups always breed confidence. So I'm not trying to disrespect the tournament. Please don't take it that way. But I will say it's not high on our priority list. If this was the FA Cup, however, this would have upset me a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more if it was the FA Cup. Or, if, yeah, obviously Champions League goes without saying. I can see the Liverpool fans starting to join in. Mehmet, I'm guessing you're a Liverpool fan with your win. What a hard nut to crack. Klopp came to teach Tuchel. Nah, man, do you know what happened? I don't even think that. I think Klopp was outplayed. I think Klopp was outdone today. Honestly, I think Klopp was outdone today. I thought Tuchel was the better man. I thought Tuchel outdone him today. But my thing is that it's the finishing. The manager don't put on the boots and finish the chances, bro. He only instructs the teams how to play. He expects his professional players' technical ability to be at a certain level, especially if you've got a Chelsea shirt on. And if they're not converting chances like that, or they don't have the concentration to keep an eye on the offside trap, then whose fault is that really? Whose fault is that really? Yeah, you see, no one's really agreeing. But you get me, big up PA Tomlinson, 100% for sharing your opinion. Liverpool is not better than us. We are evenly matched. Shane is very convinced that Liverpool are not better than Chelsea. Even if Lukaku's goal was onside, we had chances, but it is what it is. We moved, secured that third spot in the Prem, and pushed towards the FA Cup and UCL. Yeah, that's it. All we can really do from this point onwards is just keep it moving, bro. Listen, we got to another cup final. We failed this cup final. Look, this time last year, well, not this time last year. We got to the FA Cup final. We lost that to win the Champions League. I'm not saying that's what needed to happen for us to win the Champions League, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe this will be a catalyst for us to perform better in the Champions League and the FA Cup, because we've already, look, we're 2 out of 3. We've got the Super Cup, we've got the Club World Cup. Just lost the Carabao Cup. If we win the FA Cup and the Champions League, that's a brilliant season, in my opinion. Although I wanted the Prem, that was the trophy that I wanted the most. You get me? But it will still be a brilliant season, in my opinion. But yeah, man, honestly, I just thought I'd come after the game and just chat with everybody, because, listen, the way I left the game, yeah, the way I left, I was just fuming. It was just, when Kepa put that penalty over, I was just like, not like this. Absolutely not like this. Absolutely gutted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually watch the game again, because it's hard to kind of keep focus on everything going on when you're trying to do a live stream. So when I come off this, I'm going to grab my son. We're going to watch the game together again. Tomorrow, we're gonna come harder. I might holler at Eunice, or I might holler at Matisse, and we're going to do a bit more of a detailed post-match. I just thought I'd come out while the emotions are still there, and I've calmed down a little bit, just to give you a little thank you. Exeter 1985 again with the generous donation. Guni, what would be the top 3 things that you would do in the off-season? Well, I think the key thing on my list, I'm going to do this before we go. The key thing now on my list that I would do in the when the season's over, while the transfer window's open, is get rid of the deadwood. That is key. We have to free up space on the wage book before anything. We need to get rid of the silly amount of left backs or left wing backs we've got in the squad. We've got to get rid of the Danny Drinkwaters, the Bakayokos, and all these. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I would like the focus to be on that, because that's gonna be a hindrance on the youth coming up and the players that we want to sign. They're taking up spaces on the wages. You get me? So that's what I would like to see happen. Once that's addressed and we can fill priorities, that DM needs to come in, and that DM for me is Chouameni. West Ham are asking way too much money for Declan Rice, so that's not going to be a realistic signing. We know Chelsea ain't going to pay the money they're asking for him. Chouameni is that target for me. After Chouameni's signed, we definitely have to address the wing back or full back positions, whatever style of football Thomas Tuchel is going to be dominantly playing next season. He has to address those positions, whether it's a left back or left wing back, right back or right wing back. We need one of each, yeah? And especially on that left wing back side, because Ben Chilwell, with that injury like that, we have to be realistic and accept there's a chance that he may not come back the same player. Accept that. So competition to be competing with Ben Chilwell as well for me will be key. And then perhaps another direct winger. Because listen, right now, I feel like we're playing with forwards. We're playing with inside forwards rather than wingers. You get me? Rather than your traditional wingers. I want to bring back that traditional winger that is confident in actually beating defenders one-on-one, getting in behind and even able to produce individual moments of brilliance. I feel that we need one on either side, 100%. Let me see what the comments are saying. I'm so happy we have a world-class manager in Tuchel. That too, making sure Tuchel stays at this club regardless of what happens. This is a 2-season project, 100%. Guni, are you streaming the next game? 1,000%. 1,000%. I will be streaming the next game. The fan cams, Shane. Hey, listen. You know what? The fan cams are coming back. The fan cams are definitely coming back. I'm going to be going over to the football factory. And I'm going to be doing the fan cams again. Those of you that have been with the channel from the beginning, if you go back to the old videos, I used to just go and like literally get the opinions of the fans, sort of like what Arsenal Fan TV used to do, but over here I'm in New York, so I'm doing it with the American crowd. I'm going to come back to be doing that because the kid's grandma is going to be here from tomorrow, so I will be able to have a bit more childcare. So if you are from New York City, Chelsea games, I will be streaming 1 or 2 of them live from the football factory, be getting fan opinions as well. We're going to be out and about a hell of a lot more. You get me? We can't just be in New York City and just stuck in my bedroom. Absolutely not. There's a whole big New York City that I'm sure you lot want to see. We're going to make it fun. We're going to show you how many people in New York City actually love and watch football. It's going to surprise all of you that don't know. But listen, I'm going to run because I've got to tend to the kids. You already know this. Guni's a family man, but thank you so much to everybody that's jumped in. And if you are new, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, smash that like button on your way in or on your way out. You get me? Man knows football. Guni, I will definitely see you tomorrow.